There it is. All right, folks. Welcome to Thursday Night Live, or Thursday Night Raw, I should say. And then being that it's more so towards the end of the day, my Raw portion of the day is up. So I'm getting a little something warm and savory in here. Miss D, what's going on? Good evening. Good to see you.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
There we go. Miss Agnes, what's going on? Good to see you in here. We got Miss Donna tuning in. What's going on? Go ahead and get that battery charged and see if you can hop back in. Put a 1 in the chat, everybody, if you can hear me clearly. Put the 1s in the chat. What's going on, Lewis? Good to see you in here. Tonight, I'm gonna be dropping a few gems tonight. And there's a few specific points that I want to touch on, but before I do that, I'm gonna make the introductions because I'm gonna be prepping a few things. Let's see the 1s in the chat. I gotta see those 1s in the chat. Make sure y'all can hear me clearly. You don't want no sound hang-ups. There we go. All right, so we got the 1s popping in. There we go. Get the 1s up. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Oh, Ricardo, I'm gonna get that set up for you tonight. I'm gonna send you that link once I get off of here. So I got you covered in a little bit. Busy day, folks. Busy day. So I gotta prep this. This is my overnight oats. I gotta prep that for tomorrow. So I'm gonna be having this tomorrow. I'm gonna be having this tonight. This is what we're gonna do. So this is kasha, right? So I let this soak. So I've given this plenty of soaking time, like a good, I want to say 8 hours of soaking time. So now I'm gonna let that drain out. All right. We got to let that drain out there. And I got a draining tray. All right, so basically, we tip that over. I'm gonna make some tea too before this meal. All right, and so now I have my blue sprouting lid. So that's for jar number 2. So let that drain out. I'm gonna let that drain out in the sink a little bit, and then I'll add it into here. All right. So basically, this is going to be part of tonight's meal. I mean, tonight's meal is it's semi-raw, but not really entirely, right? It's a mix of things. But I'm gonna be putting mushrooms and greens and onion and bell pepper and all that kind of stuff in here. So I'm actually going to be putting a good bit of things in here. All right, well, let me bring that down. So there are some principles that I wanted to touch on today while I prep this to talk to y'all. One of the principles is organizing, right? Organizing. So basically, your success with anything you do is determined by organizing, how well organized you are. It's also a very big political term. And even on a genetic level, your health is determined by how well your body organizes your DNA, your genetic structures in your body. All right, so everything is predicated on organizing. All right. I don't need this spoon right now, I don't think. But I will need, I probably will need this bowl. So what I'm doing right now is a big part of organizing. Right? So meal prep and actually taking out the time. And you really got to learn to appreciate and prioritize meal prep. Because basically the only way to really practice food sovereignty is to engage in meal prep. Right? And you really got to own it and have an appreciation for it, where you almost regard it as like personal time, right? So, you know, meal prep is my personal time. It's something that I always make time for. And of course, as your diet is more raw, you don't really need to do much cooking, right? I'm more on the high raw side because there are certain things that I like to cook. So I'm gonna chop some greens. So basically, even for me right now, I mean, I largely eat intuitively, especially I don't really have like goals. Like I'm not trying to lose a ton of weight or gain a ton of weight or anything like that. I'm kind of maintaining and making slight improvements over time, playing more of a long game. But I still plan out my meals, right? So I still know what I'm going to be eating on a day-to-day basis. Like I can tell you what I'm going to eat tomorrow. I can tell you what I'm going to eat Saturday. I can tell you what I'm going to eat Sunday. I can tell you what times. I can tell you what meals are going to be first. I can tell you all that. I can tell you what I'm going to eat Monday. I can tell you how I'm going to train Monday. I can tell you what teas I'm going to be drinking. I can tell you what's in my grocery list, all of that. It's a big part of organizing. And, well, if you don't know, if I ask you about next Monday or Wednesday and you don't know, there's a lapse in organizing, right? So there could be some issues there, because if you feel like you're not reaching your goals, it's probably because of a lack of organizing, right? So if you don't organize, that organization or disorganization will be done for you. All right. But anyway, so this meal is going to be a bit of like it's going to be a mix of things. Where's my bell pepper at? I had a bell pepper that I wanted to finish off today. I want to find out where it is. Is it gone? Has it been eaten? All right. I got a bell pepper in here. All right, that's all right. We get some bell pepper. I actually got to make more greens than that. I got to cut up more greens than that. That's not enough greens. So I'm gonna put a little bit more greens in there. So basically diced onion, bell pepper, some spring mix. I'm gonna put cashews in here, kasha, nutritional yeast, some taco seasoning, tomato sauce. What else? Cumin, cayenne pepper. I gotta order cayenne pepper actually. I think I ran out. And see, I'm disorganized, so I didn't get my cayenne pepper. See, that's some disorganization going on my end. All right, so I don't have my necessary seasonings. I'm gonna put some garlic powder in there. What else? Some sea salt, some raw sugar cane, some avocado, and that type of thing. Mushrooms, I had to put some mushrooms in there. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just gonna prep and dice everything and put it in this bowl here. All right. And I'm doing all of that while that kasha is draining out. Let me catch up with y'all in these comments here. All right, so far so good. So basically, you know, y'all hear me, if y'all been following me for long enough, you know, I talk about things like count everything, food sovereignty, right? Not living hand to mouth. So when people say, hey, how do you feel about going out to eat? And I'm like, well, going out to eat at nice restaurants and having somebody else make all your food for you and whatnot, it's cool. But it should be a very marginal part of your diet or your day or your week for that matter, because the more you eat out and the more you have somebody else prep your food at a restaurant, people you don't know at a restaurant, at that point, you're not practicing food sovereignty. You're kind of just living hand to mouth to a certain degree, right? You don't know if they wash their hands. You don't know if they sick, if they getting over COVID, if they still have COVID or whatever kind of new virus is floating around these days. You over here plant-based and they're prepping your meal while eating chicken breasts or whatever, right? So there's all type of stuff going on that you may not really know about because you're just having somebody else run your food for you, right? So you don't really want to make a habit of doing that if you're trying to get organized and exercise some food sovereignty, right? Because I mean, when it comes to getting in shape and getting healthy and all of that kind of stuff, getting organized and practicing food safety and counting everything is extremely important, right? How many grams of carbs am I eating a day? How many grams of fat am I eating a day? What about grams of protein? You don't need an exact number, but you should have some ballpark numbers, right? You should have like a range. So for example, a range would be like, I have a goal where I want to consume anywhere from 250 to 300 grams of carbs a day, right? I want to consume anywhere from 50 to 75 grams of protein a day, or I want to consume anywhere from 45 to 60 grams of fat a day, right? This type of thing. So that's just something to consider. So this is about 4 ounces of bell pepper. I put like 3 to 4 ounces. Usually I try to go for the full 4 ounces of bell pepper in here, right? So there's that. So basically, like in this meal, I want beta carotene in this meal. I want vitamin C. I want B vitamins in this meal. I want an abundance of magnesium in this meal, thiamine. I want a good amount of selenium and zinc in this meal, manganese, right? I got certain foods. So for example, this bell pepper is a good source of potassium and vitamin C, right? And it's a good source of copper. So I'm a big fan of bell pepper for those reasons, right? I'm gonna put some red onion in here. So let me see if I already have a pre-cut red onion in here. I should have the red onion in here. I'm like, I know this lady ain't eating this much red onion. I know she ain't just polish off that red onion. No shot. All right, so it looks like I'm gonna have to cut into a fresh new red onion. Uh-oh, what's going on with my mouse? Let me check in with y'all in here. Sharon, what's going on? Good to see you in here. How you doing? All right, we got Jerry in here. What's going on? Good to see you in here. We got Tracy Golden in here. We got Kendra in here. What's going on? Good to see you. Good call earlier today. Are there any disadvantages of combining certain herbs when you drink tea? I mean, it depends. Some herbs you probably shouldn't mix, but generally speaking, mixing them is not really a problem. Probably depends on which herbs you're mixing and how many. What'd you say? Food sovereignty, poll organization, food safety counting. Yeah. All right. So let's see. So we're gonna cut straight down the middle here. There we go. When I do meal prep, right? I like. This is a really good mental health tip too, because when you're trying to do things like drop body fat and you're trying to balance your hormones and all of that type of stuff, establishing a vibe is really important, right? Like the human body is a very the human body is complex, but also like very simplistic at the same time, right? Like the human body is kind of primal. Like the only thing your body wants to do is just like not die, right? That's and everything your body prioritizes is pretty much geared towards just keeping you alive and perpetuating your life. That's pretty much what your body primarily wants to do, right? And your body doesn't really know things consciously. Your body knows things or feels things subconsciously. This is why like music is so important, right? So like y'all always see when y'all come into the live streams and whatnot, it's a whole smooth vibe in here, right? And the reason why I make it like that with the jazz and all that, because this is my type of music, first of all, right? I don't want people screaming lyrics, random lyrics in my ear, talking about shaking this and that, and jiggling and gyrating and all of this. I don't, it's too much. I want to chill out. I want to hear some instruments. And I want to be able to hear my thoughts. I need to be able to organize my thoughts. I don't want a whole bunch of voices and talking all type of stuff, right? I don't want to hear about umbrellas and diamonds and sparkling and shining and getting money. I don't want to hear all that. All right? But that's just me. It's just like if y'all notice when I wear clothes, I don't wear all kind of prints and names and stuff on my clothes. I'm a very simple man. But anyway, so everything is about like a vibe. Right? One of the biggest things, if you realize, if you're struggling with body fat, really take inventory. How much stress am I dealing with? Right? Like, do I got my vibe together in my home? What's my vibe like at home when I'm making my food? What's the vibe like? What TV shows am I watching? What kind of food am I eating? What kind of music am I listening to while I'm cooking my food? How's my food smell while I'm doing my meal prep? Right? Like your food shouldn't smell bad and whatnot once it gets put under some heat or whatever, right? Stuff like that. All right, so this is like a whole bunch of onion here that's mixed in. I don't want that much onion. I only really want like 2 ounces or so of onion. So what I'm gonna do is this. Because I feel like I overdo it on the onion sometimes. Because I really like onion, but I don't want to overdo it tonight. So I got a little food scale. Real quick. I'll just measure here on the food scale. All right, so we're gonna do that. And see, this is already, that's not right. 1 second. Oh, hold on a second. I think that's why. I gotta zero out the scale first. That's why. I'm like, that ain't no 9 ounces. Come on now. All right. I just want 2 ounces of onion. Put the rest in a bag. And that should be, that's 1.8. All right, and that's my 2 ounces. Boom. Let me tell you something, a food scale is a game changer. Yo. If you're serious about meal prep, you're gonna get a food scale. You're gonna get that food scale. All right, so I am going to, let's put this to the side. Let me prep the rest of this onion because I got this other side of this onion. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of that extra there right quick. Fellas, onion is really good to have in your diet, especially raw onion. Really good for blood flow, really good for testosterone. Taking arginine as a supplement has like pretty much no benefit really, because whatever arginine that you supplement, it just gets destroyed in the digestive process when it hits your gut. But arginine is a different story, right? Because, I mean, the onions are a different story because your body will actually synthesize more arginine when you eat onion, right? It doesn't get destroyed in the digestive process. So if you're trying to really leverage angiogenesis, get more vascular, get more blood flow, improve your blood pressure, things like this, raise testosterone naturally, and the, you know, red onion, it's a good go-to. All right. All right. I'm glad this is not cooking my eyes right now, too. I think it's because my glasses are shielding my eyes, maybe. Or at least I'd like to think that. I don't know if that's true. But I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. So this is just some onion for later, so I don't have to, like, dice the onion. I like dicing onion. I can slice it, but I like dicing onion. I like cutting produce, like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. I don't think I'm particularly good at it. I cut kind of slow, but it's a bit of a therapy to me. But anyways, the vibe, right? Stress management. Stress management is a big part, right? Just like it's pretty close to bedtime. So I know for me, I try to get at bedtime a little closer to 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like this. I have a bad habit of staying up a bit too late, but I'm working on it. I'm dialing it in. All right. Oh yeah, this onion is starting to get to me now. I feel it. All right. But we're done with that. So I got some onion for later, for tomorrow. Ooh, man. Onion for my salad tomorrow. And next is mushrooms. That's right, the purple shirts, the majestic color. I love purple. Purple and gold is like one of my favorite combinations. Yeah, look at this. Y'all see that? Yeah. All right. So now, I got my mushrooms. So typically I try to get like around 4 or 5 ounces of mushrooms. The mushrooms are a really good source of vitamin D2, which converts into vitamin D3 in your body, where your body uses it to synthesize vitamin D3. Good source of selenium, good source of copper, zinc, boron, chromium, all these different trace minerals. All right, so mushrooms are really good for that. Mushrooms are actually a high protein food, believe it or not. Like mushrooms are basically just like protein and carbs. Sometimes I'll make like mushroom stews. It's just leafy green vegetables, tofu, leeks, like sliced leeks, miso, and mushrooms. Sauteed mushrooms are good too, but I don't cook with oil very often though. I don't really hardly ever cook with oil. oil basically is like you just get all the fat and none of the actual like micronutrients with it. So like your fat sources should contain like, you know, folate, thiamine, magnesium, manganese, zinc, right? When you're getting fat in your diet without being accompanied with those minerals, that's a problem. That's a problematic imbalance. So just for accuracy's sake, I'm going to measure the mushrooms, right? So I want to get about 4, maybe 5 ounces. We'll see. So this is 2.8. I think I'm gonna go with 4 ounces. I don't want to crowd the bowl out too much. I'm gonna go with 4 ounces. So like, if you do like the 4 or 5 ounces of mushrooms, most of it is protein actually. It's about like 5 or 6 grams of protein, something like that. So it's a pretty decent amount. Other good mushrooms also are like shiitake mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, right? All right, so yeah, that's 4 ounces. I think I'll do probably like 4.5 or something like that. Oh, let me just go for the solid. Let me go for the 5 and stop playing. I'm gonna just do 5. I'm gonna just do 5 ounces. But yeah, so basically you can actually make like a ground beef, no beef mix where you just do like crushed walnuts. You can soak walnuts and then do crushed walnuts and mushrooms, and you can just finely dice them and season them. And you can make a meat like green or brown lentils. You can do walnuts and then mushrooms. So that's a good combination. And then of course I'm gonna dice these up. So basically, what I really hope for y'all watching, tuning in too, is that you feel some stress relief. As a matter of fact, put a W in the chat if you feel some stress relief right now. I'm kind of curious how y'all feeling. Put a W in the chat if you feel some stress relief. And then also for tribe for tribe members too, you can jump into the voice chat and ask me some questions and things like that, right? So I'm in the voice chat right now. So while I'm doing this, just answer y'all questions right quick. All right, we see some W's in the chat. Here we go. We got Sharon and Sheila feeling some stress relief. I'm telling you, your vibe, man. You got to protect your energy, protect your vibe. Dim the lights. I can't really particularly dim the lights too much. I don't want to be too dark here on camera. The sacrifices we make in front of the camera. I got a major conflict, y'all. Because for me, specifically, I don't particularly like being on camera. I don't like a lot of attention either. That's not conducive to my goals in life right now, but it's always how I've been. I wouldn't have a social media platform presence at all if it wasn't for my work as a nutritionist and fitness coach. I wouldn't even be on social media. Like what I'm gonna be doing, taking pictures of my face, putting selfies. What am I gonna be doing on social media? If you ain't got nothing to say, you ain't got nothing to teach, what you doing? That's always been me. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I like selfies. I like other people's selfies and whatnot. But yeah, I try to make more of an effort of sharing a little bit. This is a big stress reliever for me. Walks in the woods, meal prep, eating my fruit bowls, making my juices, herbal teas, and that type of thing. When I put this stuff on the stove, I'm put on a really low heat on the stove and the little seasonings kind of melt in, and I'll work on some other things. I got to make some tea right quick. One thing that I try to do, I got to be better about doing this, is drink some tea before the first meal. Right, so that's like a really good practice, like some ginger tea or something like that before the first meal. Either ginger tea or parsley tea, nettle tea, this type of thing. Ginger tea I like because ginger tea helps to relax your gut and prep your gut for digestion. So like if you deal with like gas and bloating and all of that type of stuff, having the ginger tea before your first meal is a good way to relax your gut and increased stimulation to the recent release of stomach acids and digestive enzymes and whatnot, so that meal goes down better. So if you're a person who deals with a lot of anxiety, you'll be more prone to gas and bloating and digestive issues and things like this, right? When you got a lot of anxiety and then you're sleep deprived, digestion can be real difficult under those circumstances. So having something like that ginger tea really helps to relax things. Stress relief is a big thing. You can listen to some chill music and dim the lights and do some deep breathing exercises, and that'll lower your blood sugar. Okay? It's real. What's going on, Cali girl? Good to see you in here. All right. We got this beautiful mushrooms in here. It's cool too. If you just wanted to eat mushrooms by themselves, you could do that. So you can do like mushrooms, sunflower seed kernels, diced onion, and you could do sprouted lentils and then just season them. And you can put before you add all that stuff, you can put the mushrooms, like the diced mushrooms, in the microwave for like 15-30 seconds or so. And that'll like improve nutrient absorption a little bit, or a lot of it. It depends on your gut. So it don't take long. You put them in the microwave for a few seconds, 15. I typically do 15 seconds, and then add everything else in after that. Right, so you can sprout lentils, or you can add sprouted lentils too, so that works as well. I gotta get back into sprouting lentils. I've sprouted lentils, sprouted quinoa. Sprouted quinoa actually has like a fragrant smell. It kind of smells pretty good actually. All right. You can also make like breakfast cereals. Not with mushrooms, but see, this is the 5 ounces of mushrooms. I'll pour that in there. So I'm gonna mix this in a little bit. Ooh. So yeah, stress relief lowers your blood sugar. So when people are like, oh, when you struggle to lose weight, even though you're eating less calories, you're like, I cut my food intake and I'm still struggling to lose weight. It's like, yeah, because of the stress. Stress will literally raise your blood sugar, prevent you from like dropping body fat to any significant degree, and you end up being more likely to lose muscle mass, which sucks. So stress relief. And so one of the greatest ways to reduce stress is by eating more and improving your vibe and your living space. All right, so now we got the cashews. All right. Yeah, my whole internet just went flat out. They done did me dirty. All right, put some ones in the chat. Let me know if I'm back. I gotta get resituated here. Hold on. Are we back? All right, we back. Okay. We got the ones here. Put the ones in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. I think we're back. I think we good. Okay. Man. All right. See, I had to turn off my VPN. So I use a VPN. You know what I'm saying? When you're in these internet streets, you got to be secure. But sometimes I got to turn off my VPN because my VPN interrupt my internet connection sometimes. Happens very rarely, but I mean, you never know when it's going to happen. But it be like that sometimes. Man, all right. All right, so we got the cashews and whatnot in here. Yo, the cashews smell so good. Oh my God. I typically try to get cashews dry roasted. These are not dry roasted though. These got a little oil in them. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks, folks. Look at that. So now, the next thing I gotta do is add in the kasha. And you know what's interesting is all of this, I can actually eat all this like this. I don't have to cook or do anything to this. I can add seasonings and all of that. And then just mix it in, and that's it. We'll just have a nice, beautiful kasha salad. I don't got no more big spoons. All right. And then put some avocado slices on top, and that's it. But I'm gonna put it on a low heat. I want something a little warm and savory. But yeah, the kasha. You don't really have to do much to it. You know? And you soak it and it's soft. You can also make like breakfast cereal with kasha. All right. Now I'm gonna season everything up right quick. So we're gonna start putting the tomato sauce on here. Oh, come on. Ugh. All right, so now I'm gonna put some nutritional yeast on there. Y'all gonna know me by my mason jars. I don't play about these jars. I got all kind of mason jars. I love these jars. 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Do a tablespoon of my taco seasoning. I gotta do like a afternoon stream where I do like my tacos. I do my taco salad with the coconut aminos. I did like a recipe video back in the day where I made I did a video about the taco salad recipe. And that taco salad was like a banger with people. I'm gonna do a black bean version next time though, I think. I'm gonna do it with black beans. Smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika and taco seasoning and nooch. Some good stuff. Let's see. Then I gotta do basil. All right. So a teaspoon of basil. Do some garlic powder. Teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I gotta do teaspoon of sea salt. Oh, come on. What's going on with this lid? All right. And then some raw sugar. All right, there we go. And now I gotta do, where is it? All right. We're just gonna mix this stuff in. This bowl's a little too small to put all this stuff in, but that's all right. Yeah, you never had kasha? What's it taste like? Kasha kind of tastes like kasha is made from buckwheat, but it's toasted. It's toasted buckwheat. It has like a nutty flavor to it. So it has like it kind of tastes like quinoa a little bit, but then it's also kind of like a nut, maybe like pumpkin seed kernels, maybe something like that. It has a very unique flavor to it. It has an earthy, nutty flavor. I guess that's how I would describe it. Yeah, look at that. That's right. That's right. So I just stick the spoon in and rotate. I realize that my portion sizes are a little ridiculous because this whole thing is one serving size, at least for me. But this isn't like a crazy calorically dense thing. The reason why it's so voluminous is because of all the greens and the the bell peppers and the mushrooms and all that. So it's a lot of fluff because of all the volume. All right. So that's that. I gotta get a spoon right quick. I want to taste test this a little bit before I see if I need to add anything else. I think it's good the way that it is, but I want to taste test it a little bit. All right. So let's see. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. You know what's interesting about this? And now I'm kind of like tempted to just eat this raw. So the interesting thing about this recipe, if you don't cook it, it's a great salad. You can really taste everything very like when you don't cook it versus when you do, it has a very different flavor to it. I'm gonna put avocado slices. I'm gonna put avocado too. I may not even cook. I'm not gonna put any heat on it. I'm not gonna cook it. It's too good. The richness of like the pepper, the onions, the mushrooms, the greens, the cashews, like it's just everything is just wow. The tomato sauce. And I think too, like if you add like a little bit of lime juice to this, oh my God. Mmm. Mm-hmm. And this is like a legit salad. And in this meal, there's an abundance of copper, selenium, zinc, magnesium, manganese, potassium, um, thiamine, folate, vitamin E, vitamin K, vitamin C. I mean, it's good. This is a banger. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm gonna do because I need a bigger bowl. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a bowl transplant. And then I'm gonna add the avocado slices. And the avocado slices is gonna make it taste so much better. Oh my God. I've been on a real avocado kick lately. I try to have like an avocado every night. Just like a whole avocado. Uh-oh. One of my lights died. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of transportation. Actually, no, I'll do that. You know what I like about this too? Like, it has a freshness to it. If you don't apply any heat to it, you don't cook it down. It has like a crunchy freshness to it. And it's cold, so it's like a real fresh, cold salad. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. I gotta prep some other things. I'm not gonna make tea with this because I'm probably gonna do it afterwards. I don't need to do tea with this. Because I don't want to like have warm, hot tea and then a cold salad. I don't really want to do that. You don't have to do like me necessarily. I'm like, if it was warm, yeah, but I don't want like something real hot and then something cold in my mouth. I don't want to do all of that mixed temperature stuff like that. My teeth be like, what the hell? That massive temperature shift. Your mouth be like, hey, hey, hey. All right, so I make like these chocolate overnight oats, right? We're gonna move this to the side right quick. I make like chocolate overnight oats. Right? So that's this here. So we do that. This is real easy to prep too. And this is gonna be my post-workout meal tomorrow. I'm gonna pour 8 ounces of plant-based milk in here. Get one of these lids. So now I gotta I'm gonna put some, all my stuff in here. I basically put scoops of stuff in there. So I eat a lot of sugary stuff throughout the earlier portion of the day, but in the evening, not so much. So I have like certain segments of the day where I'll do certain things. So like in the earlier portion of the day, I'll do like agave and raw sugar, and I'll have like an abundance of like bananas and grapes and all types of fruits, and really crushing the sugar. And it works really well for me because I need a lot of energy. I need a lot of mental focus and energy. So all that food deprivation and carb cutting and that don't do it for me. But I don't eat like a lot of fat, so it balances out. Oh wait. So yeah, 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds. And that was like a cup of rolled oats, and I basically soaked that throughout the day. So I left it to soak in the morning. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of raw sugar. You may say, man, 2 tablespoons of sugar, ain't that a lot? No. No, it is not. All right. That's why, you know, for me, everything is a bit more nuanced. So I don't put like much of a priority on avoiding sugar intake. Now, I'm not telling you to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. I do that just because I'm a bit of a freak. I require a lot of energy, and the more sugar I add, the leaner I get, and the stronger I get, and the better I sleep. So when I add sugar, it improves my life. So it's a bit different, right? But like basically, if you wanted to like not put sugar or something like that, you could just add a banana and like a couple dates, right? And it would be the same thing. But I do it this way. This is largely how I've always done it. Even when I was at like 6% body fat and I dropped down to like 145 pounds, I was doing the 2 tablespoons of raw sugar. I was doing that even back then. All right, so I put cacao powder. So 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, 2 tablespoons of raw sugar, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds, 1 cup of rolled oats soaked. And now I'm adding powdered peanuts. So this is my naked PB. I don't want to add a bunch of extra fat to my diet, so I add the powdered peanuts rather than like peanut butter. Because I'll OD on the peanut butter. I get a little too carried away with the peanut butter. Everybody has like that one thing that's their weakness. For me, I can't. Because I'll attempt to do 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and it ends up being like 4. I just can't. I can't with the peanut butter. I gotta leave that alone. Nut butters, period. I gotta leave it alone. So pea protein isolate. So I put 2 scoops in here of my pea protein isolate. Interestingly enough, like I add the protein and like, yeah, it gives me extra protein in my diet, but I like the texture that it creates. Like if I do this recipe and I don't add the powdered peanuts, it's a little thin. So it creates a nice texture. It's almost like a cake batter. So I really like that personally. It's magnesium malate. You want to add extra magnesium to your diet. So put a scoop of magnesium malate. So you can actually sneak like your supplements into your diet this way. So y'all get to see real time how I do it. And then glutamine, right? So this is like a meal that is, it's a meal, but it's also like a protein smoothie in a bowl. So this is glutamine. Glutamine is really good for gut health, the repair of your gut lining, muscle recovery. Yeah, mainly primarily those two things. So that's about so that's 2 scoops. 2 scoops is 10 grams, is 5 grams per scoop. So that's how I do that. So this is a chocolatey peanut butter. Where's my spoon? Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to. And then add in the milk, boom. And then after that, just stir it and mix everything in. And this tastes like ice cream too. It's like a cake batter. And then when you put it in the fridge, because it's cake batter, it smells like cake batter right now. So like if you look at that, it's like cake batter. You could put this in the blender too, if you wanted like a more smoother, creamy kind of cake batter. I'm not doing that. Give that blender a rest. And this thickens up with the powdered peanuts and the pea protein isolate and whatnot. So, you know, it takes on more of a creamy kind of texture to it. And then when you put it in the fridge and it's cold, it's like ice cream. Oh, it's so good. And then like a complete freak, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add agave to this. So if you notice, I don't eat small portion sizes. That's like the one running theme with me. I don't do small portion sizes. Oh, okay. You don't have to do as I do, where you add the agave. I do that that's like a personal preference for me. I like it real sweet. All right. So mix all of that in there. There we go. Make sure I mix it in real good until it's nice and even. I don't want to see no powders. It's just like a nice ice cream mix. All right, so we got that there. All right. And boom. And this meal is jam-packed. Glutamine, protein, magnesium, zinc, manganese, all the B vitamins, the polyphenols from the cacao, iron, copper, the works, selenium, folate. So this is a meal that's actually got a really good amount of selenium and folate, thiamine, zinc, really good stuff. So this is a really good meal for like gut repair, muscle growth. If you're trying to repair your gut because you're having digestive issues, I wouldn't put the protein powder. I wouldn't do that. I would add the glutamine and possibly the magnesium malate also. I wouldn't do the protein though, because the protein could be a little too heavy on the gut if you have a sensitive gut. All right, so that's like a modification I would make there if you have that goal. So this is it. So this is my post-workout meal for tomorrow. Nice and organized. You see what I mean about the organizing? So I got all kind of mason jars and bags, and so I got everything organized. Got to get organized, folks. All right. So I've got for tomorrow morning. So basically, here's my two options. So basically, for my fruits for tomorrow, it would be this melon would be the first thing that I eat tomorrow, right? So I would have this whole melon. That's my first meal of the day. It would be the melon, and then I would have like an ounce, maybe 2 ounces of sunflower seed kernels. Then I would have that old-fashioned rolled oats, the cake batter, the overnight oats. I would have that. The following meal after that would be like either these bananas, not tomorrow, because tomorrow's not a training day. If it were a training day, then it would be these bananas. But the third meal would actually be like 24 to 28 ounces of grapes, 1 ounce of almonds, and then I kind of want to do this salad again. So I would either do that salad again, or I would do my chickpea salad, which my chickpea salad is a bit of a different thing, but kind of similar. I hear you on the crunchy peanut butter. I prefer crunchy peanut butter because I like texture. I can't handle it because I'll eat crunchy peanut butter straight out the jar. I can't do it. I'm pretty disciplined. I'm not that disciplined. This avocado is kind of small. So we're gonna see what the pit looks like. There better not be no small avocado with no big ass pit. You know, nature be playing pranks like that. We see, look at this. We see now? That's not too bad, but it's kind of a small avocado. It's a little small. It's a little small. But we're gonna make do. Now I do this in a fairly inartful way. When I do the avocado slices, y'all may look at me crazy at what I'm about to do. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Y'all might look at me crazy for what I'm about to do, because it looked kind of dangerous, but it's not. I do it all the time, which I probably shouldn't, but I just do it. So don't do it the way that I do it. But when I add avocado slices, I do this here. Is that weird? That's how I do it. Just right in my hand. So I go around the edges, try to get all the avocado on the spoon, and then I scoop it out from underneath. Yeah, avocado is a magical food, I'm telling you. I got a new laptop coming, y'all. So I'm gonna be able to do more video stuff because this laptop has one of them high-powered AI graphics cards. So I can like simul stream and whatnot from my laptop, and I don't got to worry about all the crashing and stuff and the lagging. So I'm excited about that. Huh? You want me to cut it for you? Okay. You want me to do it like how I usually do it? All right. Give me a second. You just want one apple? All right. What are you having with it? Just apple? All right. I'm gonna have to sharpen this knife pretty soon. All right. All right, there you go. Mm-hmm. All right, it's getting a little junky around here. I feel the urge to clean. I don't like clutter. I'm not gonna hold y'all up watching me clean though. I don't know if y'all want to watch me. Maybe y'all do want to watch me clean. What if I did like a stream, a cleaning stream, where y'all just saw me sweeping and mopping the floors and doing laundry and dishes and stuff? Would y'all watch that stream? You know, like wiping down the kitchen counters with the Clorox wipes and stuff, and folding laundry. Like, would y'all watch that stream? Yo, put a 1 in the chat. Put a S in the chat if y'all would watch a cleaning stream. I'm just like cleaning up around the house. You put no in all capital letters? It's a hard no. Look at it. What's the A for? Oh, the S? What's the F? You should put an F in the chat. What's the... I'm interpreting the F as a no. Is that a down vote? Is it? So we're gonna have to do a. All right, we got a split vote. Cleaning is kind of therapeutic though. Mm. Yeah, I said S. Yeah, I like cleanliness and order. Like I like organizing and cleaning. I can think clearly too. Like I like wide open space and cleanliness and minimalism. I feel like I can think clearer. I can't do clutter and junk. I can't do it. Yo, matter of fact, I'm kind of curious about something. Is anybody in the chat right now, when you buy a new pair of shoes or something, do you save the box that the shoes came in? Do y'all save shoe boxes? Do y'all do that? Or like you get a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that and you keep the box that the bag come in? Agnes, you keep the box? Agnes is a box keeper. You're the keeper of boxes. Let me tell you something. I get anything in a cardboard box, I throw the box out. Because them boxes accumulate real quick. I can't do no boxes. I'm throwing them boxes out. You said yes for you? Well, you said you do, you keep the box? I used to keep the boxes too. I don't know what happened. I just got tired of being the keeper of boxes. I think it came with my minimalism phase. It's like I'm a real minimalist. I don't have a lot of possessions. I don't have a lot of things. So I got like a lot of wide open space. I don't have a lot of things. And I've got like I have one thing for each thing. Like I have like one pair of sneakers that I use for working out. I have one pair of boots. I have one pair of weightlifting shoes. And then when it comes to like dress shoes, I have a pair of dark colored dress shoes and a light colored dress shoes. That's how I strategically plan out my shoes. And I won't do more shoes than that. And then like shirts and pants, I do like inversions. So like for example, I'll get a certain shirt and it'll be a black shirt. I'll get the same exact shirt as a white shirt or a cream colored shirt. And I do the same thing with pants. All right, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too late. I gotta finish eating this food. But before I go, do y'all have any questions for me? Before I jump off? You say you have 100 pair of sneakers? How you got 100 pair of sneakers? You only have two pair of feet. Antonio, what's going on? I see you over here in the Discord. You gotta let me know how the journey goes. Let me know when you hit 200 pounds. All right. Oh yeah, only one pair of feet, not two pair of feet. I meant 2 feet, one pair of feet. I said you had two. You only had 2 pair of feet. Yeah, that's a. I misspoke on that one. Do I use tofu? Yes, I do. I don't eat tofu like very often, but I do occasionally. Yeah. Basil tea for high blood pressure. Also, which fruits? Yeah, so basil tea is really good for blood pressure. So is nettle tea. Nettle tea is really good for blood pressure. Burdock root. Ooh. Burdock root is also good for blood pressure. What else? Ginseng, ginkgo. Those are good for blood pressure. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for blood pressure. Ginger and turmeric are also good for blood pressure. Fruits for blood pressure. I think at the top of my list would probably be melons. Grapes are good for blood pressure. Grapefruit and pineapple are also good for blood pressure. I just said blood pressure a lot of times. I'm like, why am I saying blood pressure so much? Going to bed earlier too. Going to bed around 9 o'clock, 9:30 is good for blood pressure. I got to do a stream talking more about sleep quality and breaking down the science of sleep. That's a whole nother conversation we got to have. See, as a female, you collect many outfits and shoes. So you could do that. You know, us men tend to be simple creatures. You know, I don't know. Is it weird for a man to have like a whole bunch of shoes? I feel like that's kind of weird. I don't know. Is tofu good for thyroid? I have to book a call with you. Is it good for thyroid? It's a mixed bag because it really depends on what your thyroid issue is, right? So like in terms of like your thyroid, you have your pituitary gland that releases thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone signals to your thyroid to secrete more T4, right? T4 is an inactive thyroid hormone, which then converts into T3, which is an active thyroid hormone. And that's largely created in your liver. Now, tofu can disrupt the hormonal process. It can. I don't know how common that is because it's a dosage thing. If you eat a lot of tofu, then it could disrupt your thyroid. But it depends if you have a food sensitivity to it. For me personally, like when people have thyroid issues, I don't really put thyroid in the diet. I mean, I don't really put tofu in the diet. I'm more likely or more prone to put tofu in a man's diet. Men respond very well to tofu. Women, especially black women, it's a mixed bag. In my experience, a lot of black women tend to have issues with tofu. So for black women, I'm reluctant to put it in the diet plan. Right? Unless you tell me like you've already been eating it and you haven't been having any reactions to it, that's fine. But generally speaking, I don't really make diet plans for black women where I put tofu in it. I typically don't do that. Right? For men, it seems to be a different story. There is a thing that it can bind up hormones. So the inside soybeans or tofu, there's something called I can't say this word. Goitrogens. I think that's how you say it. Basically a chemical compound that can cause the binding up of hormones. Like that, you can get like potential excess binding of thyroxine, right? So basically you end up developing something called TBG, right? So thyroxine binding globulin. So if you're like going heavy with the tofu or just eating, I don't know, at least I want to say 18 ounces a day, maybe 12 or even 16, it's possible that you can be getting a lot of that and it's causing an increase in TBG, right? It's possible, but it depends. It varies from person to person, right? But then also like, you can have a thyroid issue because you have a congested liver. So you're just storing too much fat and waste and stuff in your liver. So basically you have to like unencumber your liver. And that's what your plan should largely be based around. Right? So it's very circumstantial because you can have a thyroid problem or you can have what appears to be a thyroid problem, but there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. Right? Like you don't have any nodules on your thyroid or anything like this. It's not like enlarged or anything like that. Or, it's producing enough T4, that kind of thing. Like if your thyroid is adequately responding to TSH, it's adequately producing T4 and all that type of stuff, and you don't have any nodules on your thyroid, you don't have like, excessively elevated antibodies in your thyroid's pretty much fine. And then it's usually like a liver issue, right? And it could be like fatty liver, insulin resistance, and you can have like you have a group of stress hormones called catecholamines. And your catecholamines could just be real high and it's disrupting your entire metabolic process in your diet. So basically, when those catecholamines are like really high, chronically elevated, your cortisol and adrenaline is like real high. It shuts off your appetite. You have a lot of anxiety. You can even have heart palpitations and things like this. So you're never really hungry. And then when you do get hungry, your blood sugar drops real low. You have like a hard crash and then the sugar cravings set in. It could be that kind of thing. But usually when you have like the stress hormones on high, you typically get salt cravings, like real bad salt cravings. Not the sugar so much, but the salt. And you can have some real beastie, wild salt cravings where you just want something crunchy and salty, right? So it's things like that. And that's a stress thing. So if you feel stressed, you're sleep deprived, you're under eating, that can stir up those vicious salt cravings. And you can have a combination of salt and sugar cravings, right? If you have more of a sugar craving, it's because your brain is not getting enough glucose. If you have a salt craving, it's because your body needs some type of therapy to bring down the stress hormones being secreted by your adrenal glands, right? If you're like really lethargic and kind of tired all the time, that can be like a low T3 thing and insulin resistance. So there's a lot of different things. So for example, like if we were to talk, it'd be a lot of other questions that I would ask you to try to develop like a profile, what you eat, how you sleep, when do you experience energy crashes, brain fog, do you experience any gas, bloating, what does your diet typically look like? Because I need to develop a profile of like all of your issues, right? Because it's not really just like one thing, it's like a combination of things, right? When's the next time I go live? Saturday. Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right. All right, folks. It's time for me to finish my meal because I'm over here talking to y'all. My avocado slices are going to turn brown. So let me get to it. All right, y'all. I'm talking.